Your home is a reflection of your lifestyle, everything from your hobbies to your job. It's what makes you. And on this episode of Tall Homes, we're taking a step into the countryside in Carson Valley to visit Maddie's Frisian Ranch to explore the day-to-day workings of the ranch lifestyle. So you keep watching this episode of Tall Homes. Welcome back to Tall Homes.
I'm Ruth Page, and my husband Greg Walsh and I own Maddie's Frisian Ranch. My husband and I came from Silicon Valley, basically. We had both done a couple different startup companies which were successful, and we decided it was time for us to take a break from that busy, fun but busy lifestyle, so we moved to Nevada. Originally, we moved by Lake Tahoe on the north side in Klein Village. We really wanted to find a passion, something that we could put our energy into. We bought 2 horses, initially 2 quarter horses, just riding horses. And we happened to see a Frisian at the facility. Then we bought her, and she was pregnant, and that pretty much took off. Now I think we have about 65 Frisians. We have 20 brood mares. We're expecting 20 foals next year. We really started Maddie's Frisian Ranch about 8 years ago. We started with 44 acres. From 40 acres, we expanded to our house, which is 57 acres. We have about 25 acres in grass hay. Then we expanded to another 20 acres, and that's where our foaling barn is. We expanded to another 20 acres, and that's where our alfalfa field is. And then we expanded to another 40 acres, and that's where we house our 2 breeding stallions. There are only about 16 breeding stallions in the United States that are approved, and so 2 of them are right here in Gardnerville, Nevada. So we are pretty much right at the base of Kingsbury Grade. We're 15 minutes from the base of Heavenly Ski Valley, and then maybe 25 minutes total from the south shore of Lake Tahoe. We are a total of 177 acres. I have 4 employees right now. All of our employees live on site. So we have 2 outdoor arenas. One is a dressage arena and one is actually a carriage driving arena for competitions, dressage in the carriage. And we're actually building a complete marathon for carriages with different hazards. We have a lot of riding paths. We're fortunate to have a lot of flood irrigation water, so our pastures in our area can stay green and healthy. So we enjoy and utilize basically all 177 acres of the property. The breed is very exceptional. They're not only one of the most beautiful breeds in the world, but they're very athletic, they're very smart, they're very dedicated to their owners. And there was a real need for breeders in the U.S. Most of the horses at that time were coming from Holland, and it's quite expensive to import horses from Holland. Ranch lifestyle is really, it's a passion. It's not something you do as a job. You couldn't. You have to love it. These are living, breathing animals. They get sick, they get hurt. There's a lot of demands on your time, a lot of demands on people to work efficiently, and people cover a lot of areas. So, for instance, everybody mucks. There's not anybody here who doesn't muck a stall. It just happens sometimes, not by design, but it's something you have to be very dedicated to, and it might be surprising that how much knowledge you have to do it right, to do it efficiently, and to get the best results. All these horses are our babies. We are there when they're born. We're there if there's an injury, if there's an accident, if they are afraid. We watch their nutrition. They are in our care, and we're responsible for them. We get very, very attached to the babies and all the horses here. They really are the fairy tale horse that people, like women and children, you can just picture yourself riding this horse, through the wilderness.
Coming up after the break, we'll meet Greg Walsh, Ruth's husband, to learn more about the inner workings of life on the ranch, only on this episode of Ta Homes. Welcome back to Taw Homes.
My name is Greg Walsh, and I'm Ruth's husband, and we're here at the Stallion Barn on Maddie's Frisian Ranch. We built the ranch in several stages. We started off with 40 acres at the northwestern end of it, and now, after we've put together all the different pieces, we've got different functions in different areas, which is important so that, for example, the Stallions are not next to the mares, and that our nonprofit, organization is an area where they can, use their facilities, all the time. And then we have our foaling barn, and the foaling barn has its own little bedroom, office where during foaling season, which is basically spring and summer, the foaling manager can, sleep when we're expecting babies that night. And then we have our pastures and hay and alfalfa fields.
Ranch life is a 24/7 job, which becomes a true lifelong passion.
Building this ranch is certainly different than designing software, but on the other hand, kind of like working in a startup company, it has a lot of similarities.
With Ruth and Greg's techie background, they were able to build an information network for every working element of the ranch.
Being that both Ruth and my background was in computers and computer software, we decided that we needed to make use of computers to keep track of things that are going on the ranch. So we have our own app that I wrote that you can access from cell phones and from tablets and from desktop computers, either here at the ranch or anywhere actually, and it can send you notifications when medications are due or when certain activities are, need to be done, including oil changes on vehicles and such.
This is our ranch app we're talking about. It shows you shoes are for Oldrick. All these vaccinations are coming up on the radar. Preg check, worming, medicine, Gust Guard, worming, shoes. So I always know what's coming up.
Because we had background in computers and generally in scientific kinds of things, that's been very helpful, because the breeding of horses is a science as well as an art. And in fact, Frisians, because of the fact that they have been so inbred, there's a lot of genetic problems that you need to avoid, and so we do genetic testing. We also attend to their nutritional requirements, so we have all of our hay analyzed, and now that we actually have both our own alfalfa and grass hay, that's really made the feeding much more cost effective rather than having to buy hay. And also now we know what we're getting as opposed to taking what we get on the market.
From breeding to feeding, training and selling, every development of the horse is carefully assessed by the ranch team.
My name is Brittany Malco, and I'm the Ranch and Breeding Manager here at Maddie's Frisian Ranch, and I'm also the head trainer. This is Oldrick, a 10-year-old gelding imported from Holland, and he is a third-level dressage horse. He is my baby, yes, this is my child.
These award-winning horses rank some of the top performers in the United States and are all under Brittany's continual care.
I was raised in Southern California, and my family originally bred Arabians, both sides, and so I raised Arabians for many years, and then I broke into other breeds, including quarter horses, thoroughbreds, started showing saddlebreds, and then segued into Frisians. And I was training Frisians, had Frisians of my own, and then about 1.5 years ago, I went ahead and started looking for Ruth when she asked me, and now I'm doing exclusively Frisians and training, showing, breeding. My duties at Maddie's Frisian Ranch are basically all aspects of the horses, from when they're born, I assist the foaling manager, to training the foals, to training the horses, to getting them ready for our Dutch inspections, all aspects of breeding, including ultrasounding, stallion collection and shipping, and overall ranch management, including the employees as well. I love living on this ranch for a lot of reasons. I love the location, I love the horses, I love this breed. They are the most wonderful breed I've ever worked with. I love the people I work with and the people I work for, and I really love the fact that we are one big family, and that's kind of part of the ranch lifestyle, is that we all work together. I think what makes this ranch really different is that we are like a family here, and we treat our horses as our children, and we take exceptionally good care of them. Because we, as a ranch, have been nominated for being the best breeder in North America 3 years in a row, as well as second in the world several years ago, we are an authority on the breed, and I'm very proud to be part of that, as well as being part of this operation. One of the things that makes this ranch different is that we incorporate everything from breeding to training, raising, all in one facility. We're large enough that we're able to offer that to other people, as well as do justice to our horses. And that's something that you don't find. Usually training and breeding facilities are separate, and we're really lucky to have everything in one place here. Here we are in our lab. Here we do a lot of our processing of things that we need for breeding horses. Over here we have our fridge where we store our extender. Over here we have our incubator where we keep everything warm, as well as do processing of equine semen. Over here are our liquid nitrogen tanks. These are really awesome. We fill them once a month, and inside of them is actually frozen equine semen, and it can be shipped all over the world. Over here we have our ABs. Nice hanging rack for those so they stay nice and dry. I have my AccuScope in here. This is a therapy system instrument that I use for rehabbing horses that have injuries. And then my work desk, computer station, as well as my centrifuge machine for centrifuging semen. And then of course a microscope for evaluation, very important.
Coming up after the break, we're meeting Barbara Slade, president of Between Horses and Humans, to learn more about this incredible nonprofit that has made its home here on Maddie's Friesian Ranch, only on this episode of Ta Homes. Welcome back to Taw Homes.
Hi, I'm Barbara Slade, and I'm president and head instructor of Between Horses and Humans. Between Horses and Humans is an organization that partners children with horses, children who are having difficult life situations, personal challenges, social, emotional, and behavioral issues. I've been doing horses my whole life. I started when I was 3 years old. I'm from New Jersey originally. New Jersey is full of horses. And so I started out doing competitive show jumping horses. I actually became a jockey on the racetrack for a while, and then I went back to competitive show horses. Well, I was a part of this organization from its inception in 2002. It had a slightly different focus. When the founder wanted to retire, she asked me if I wanted to take it over full time, and I said yes. I was ready to hang up my competitive irons after 40 years of competing, and I thought, what better way to share what horses have given me with others? So I took it over. Took over the reins. Between Horses and Humans had a different name originally. It never had a home. It never had horses. We had a slightly different focus, so we were working with other trainers at their ranches with their horses and their competitive show students. And then I took it over, and we were working at a ranch for 3 years and then another ranch for 2 years. And then, without getting teary-eyed, we couldn't find another home, and we were about to close the program, and one thing led to another, and we got invited by Ruth and Greg, and as they say, it's history now. It's been a wonderful 3 years that we've been here, and the children, this is a home where they feel loved and nurtured, where they feel safe and protected, and they can be themselves. It's a very unusual and beautiful environment. It is emotional for me too, because the kids get so much out of it, and just the thought, and our waiting list is huge. There's so many kids with needs, and so much of it is not their own fault. They have very difficult life situations, and you know, it's a place for them to feel they can heal. I'm not sure I've met people who are so open and loving and kind and so generous, and have a great sense of humor. They understand horses, they understand people, that children have needs. You know, it's just been a warm environment. Besides, from the ranch aspect of it, oh my gosh, you could not ask for a better facility in which to run your program. The fields are beautiful, the stalls are beautiful, the arenas are beautiful. They keep everything 100% perfect working order. And they provide us shavings, they provide us hay, they help us clean the stalls. So it's just a magnificent facility. We have this big, beautiful indoor arena, we have a couple outdoor arenas. So the children get to have different relationships with the horses depending on the different areas that we work in. Having an opportunity to be at Maddie's Friesian Ranch, having our program here, is really what has allowed us to be sustainable and to actually work with hundreds of children over the last 3 years. I grew up with horses, and they changed me. They changed my character, they changed the way I perceived life, they gave me hope and sunshine every day. I had something to get up and look forward to. When I decided to stop competing, I thought, you know, I want to share that with other children. Horses really reach us on a deeper level, and they pull up our issues and make us look at them. And then when we look at our issues, we recognize that we can be a choice to let them go and then move forward. Ranch lifestyle is really kind of fun. I've been doing it my whole life and I'm not a spry young woman anymore, so it's been many years that I get to muck and clean and pick and rake, and it's just fabulous. You know, horses don't have a day off. If they're sick, you're here. You're here early in the morning, you're here late at night. You're here at Christmas, New Year's, it doesn't matter. You know, horses really build your strength and character. And so ranch life is just beautiful. There's always something fun to do. Plus, even here with the children, we have the most magnificent views. They love to watch the sunset. They love to watch the clouds. We watch the sandhill cranes fly overhead. A lot of frogs that they get to learn about frogs. And we had a praying mantis here the other day and a little bunny rabbit. So ranch life is just a lot more than just horses. And they learn good work ethics. Thank you, Ruth and Greg. You've changed my life and you've changed the life of many, many children. And my volunteers thank Ruth and Greg at Maddie's Frisian Ranch. It's a beautiful place to be.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Taw Homes and taking a step into the boots of the ranch lifestyle. Here's to just another day of horsing around.